The winner of Community Arts Award is Canadian Community Arts Initiative.
Receiving awards is good, but I remember that sentence, with great powers come greater responsibility. Having an award in hand is a power in itself, but then you have the responsibility to bringing better and better programming year after year. Every award gives us a challenge to be better, to prove ourselves once again to the audience.
Winning an award is great, it feels good, it gives you more encouragement. It is a confirmation from the community that what you're doing is right.
The reason why we started Mosaic Festival was for our young generation, for our children to take pride in our cultural events, to recognize our languages, dances, music. And it's a slow process. I want our community to realize that when we present high quality productions in our own language, in our own cultural representation, our children will gravitate towards that. They will take pride in fine representation, good sound, professional lighting, great stage, and organized events. They will take pride in bringing their friends to it. And that is the success of any event, when you see young people gravitating towards it.
Almost half of Mississauga's citizenship was basically South Asians. So we felt that it was a time to connect the city with its population so that we could understand the culture, art, and heritage of those people who are now calling the city home.
As Canadians, and it really doesn't matter whether the family lives here for generations or whether they just immigrated last year, we all want to live in an inclusive and harmonious society. And cultural understanding, embracing diversity, and understanding each other, those are the building blocks of such a society. And I had the privilege to meet people around Mosaic Festival who promote and live by this mantra for over 20 years now.
The board of directors that we have for Canadian Community Arts Initiative is very diverse. It's very eclectic. They bring in different skill sets with them. Not everybody is 100% complete, so we complete each other. We bring in the strengths that we can use, and we bring in the styles that can be utilized in so many different ways, in different aspects of the festival.
So we took the model of Masala Mehndi Masti, which was more like an inclusive model in which the diversity was celebrated. We create that benchmark of quality, and that quality is obvious in our selection of artists, production, our executive team that puts the festival together, our board of directors. Everybody is cognizant of the quality. Three things that I really take pride in. One was the pride of citizenship within the citizenship itself. The second was the contact and the connection that we have been able to establish with our loyal audience. And the third is the cultural tourism that we have been able to generate and promote for Mississauga as a global cultural tourist place.
What we really appreciate about Canadian Community Arts Initiatives, they're actively working at bridging gaps, cultural gaps, between these groups, and they have been remarkably successful across the various festivals that they touch. It's been a groundbreaker, setting really the model for Celebration Square festivals, which is one of the probably best municipal concert site in this continent. So when they have 35,000 people a day at their festival, they're well taken care of. They're in a convenient, comfortable space, and it was designed with their festival in mind. So CCAI has been a groundbreaker, and we're very grateful for all the cool ideas they come up with.
My experience with Masala Mehndi Masti and Canadian National Exhibition was very important stepping stones in designing and executing Mosaic Festival. Every year the idea is to give audience an experience which is a wholesome experience which they can enjoy with their entire family. There should be energy in it, there should be high quality. Since we deal with A-list artists, most of them don't even realize what a fantastic blend of audience we provide to them.
From the very first day, she literally said, "Sumit, I need you here." And I went there, and guess what? I see a stage on wheels, I see, barricades and tents, and I see Asma right there. And I said, "Hi, Appa, how are you?" And she's like, "Here is the clipboard, here is your pen, please manage the stage." And guess what? 20 years later, I'm still on that stage, managing it.
I didn't know anything about the festival when I started. I just thought I would come and do a theatre performance, and then Asma asked me to help her with the opening reception, and she didn't give me any information what I had to do. Everything had to be flyby, and I did put it together, and she was like, "Oh, it went smoothly," and I was like, "Really?" And then I thought like, "Oh, things go smoothly. Nobody knows what happened behind the scenes as long as everything went fine." And so from there I learned, and I learned a lot, and I grew with the festival.
My voice has really been recognized as a woman from Trinidadian heritage, and we have also brought live entertainment and acts during Mosaic live event in a celebration square. So I have found the representation quite refreshing and very inclusive, and also very powerful.
My experience was limited to India. Only when I started working at Mosaic, my eyes were, and my horizon was expanded to Coke Studio Pakistan, artists from Pakistan, artists from different, communities. And 1 year, 2 year, then it just became like a programming assembly that we knew every year that we have to have representation from different countries, and that is what Mosaic represents. It's not just one country, one culture. It's very Canadian, and bringing all the people together and giving the best show in town.
We are on Canada's land as settlers and as newcomers, and it's always paramount to pay homage to First Nations and to indigenous peoples that were on this land first. Every year, Mosaic makes sure to include people and representatives and artists from those communities on our stage as an acknowledgement and as homage.
We had an opportunity to take David R. Miracle, who is a Mohawk. We sent him to Pakistan for an artist residency and a lecture series, and he was able to create music there and then come back to Mosaic Festival and perform here. These opportunities actually are growing with Mosaic Festival.
We have featured theatre right from the year number 1 when we started the Mosaic Festival, but the organization is very, very excited. The more and more people from the theatre industry are moving into this country now from the South Asian countries, and we're getting an opportunity now lately for the last few years where we have enough talent of South Asian Canadians who are theatre professionals, and we are able to support serious professional theatre in Mississauga through Mosaic Festival and through our other theatrical productions as well.
I love dance, and I think we are so fortunate that some of the best dance schools in Canada have performed at Mosaic Festival. I find the young talented dancers who danced on our stage in 2006 for the first time with Shamak's school are now professionally dancing. They have their own dance schools, and it feels very invigorating to see those young people now growing up, doing their own business and all that, but taking out time to perform on Mosaic stage.
As a choreographer, as a co-founder of a dance company, and Mosaic being such a strong voice for the arts, and promoting young talent, promoting local talent, Mosaic gave Jadu, my company, the space to project my talent and my creative aspect as a individual, and being able to perform on that stage, I think was one of the biggest highlights for our company.
So it's a beautiful mix and contrast stage, for the community. We're sitting on the same ground at Celebration Square, Mississauga. They get to see an act from LA, from Mumbai, from Lahore, to literally next door their neighbor, through platforms like Nachange Sari Raat, which is a dance competition festival we used to do. We did it for a few years in Mosaic, and to now Rising Stars, which is giving an opportunity, a platform to our locals, to our local artists who want to come and do something.
Mosaic Rising Star हमारी सिर्फ इन उम्मीदों को आगे लेके जाता है कि कैनेडियन म्यूजिक टैलेंट, कैनेडियन यंग टैलेंट को हम एक स्टेज दे सकें, उनको एक रास्ता दिखा सकें कि वो अपने आप को कैसे एस्टेब्लिश करें, क्योंकि हमारे जजेस जो हमारे इन इवेंट के जजेस भी होते हैं वो सेलिब्रिटी जजेस होने के साथ साथ नॉलेजेबल भी हैं. व्हेन दे गाइड these youngsters feel confidence as well as their performance shines. And one more thing, when we create that kind of an event, our winners get an opportunity to perform with the headliners on the same day.
Visual arts has always been a very strong point for me at Mosaic Festival, and every year I try to come up with something unique for our audience, for our local artists to be a part of. And Mosaic Festival was positioned uniquely during COVID to create a spectacular exhibition which would be outdoors for people to walk and enjoy. And it was an opportunity for us to support local artists by paying them for the artwork that they created. We weatherproofed the paintings and we hung them along Front Street in Mississauga for an exhibition that went on for 2 months. Thousands of people saw that exhibition, and during COVID times, our frontliners were working so diligently, so hard. So it became for me an opportunity to show our gratitude to all our frontliners. This show was curated, it went so well that the CBC picked it up, and then I got an opportunity to showcase it at the Art Gallery of Mississauga.
So among the many different projects that we've done with Mosaic Festival, 2 really important projects stand out for us. One is Bazgasht, which was an extensive exhibition that looked at the history of miniature painting and bringing it into a contemporary art context as well. And then Picture House, the Art of Bollywood, that celebrated the 100th anniversary of Bollywood and looked at the tradition of hand-painted billboards over time, historically and in the present time. It's wonderful to see that the Mosaic Festival is already in its 20th year. It's such a significant event. And we encourage and love collaborating with the festival, hope to do more of that in the future as well, and always being very inclusive, not only of the full South Asian community, but of all cultures in Mississauga and all audiences. So it's a really wonderful event.
I love any kind of dance form. It's in my blood. And talking about dance, South Asians are huge, massive film buffs. We talk about movies all the time, and that is why it was a very, very natural segue for CCAI to go into the world of films by the way of MISAF. MISAF brings independent cinema, independent movies, experimental movies, documentaries, shorts.
Mosaic Festival used to have a curated film component that was curated by Dinesh Sachdev, who runs the Toronto Filmy Film Festival. So the Mosaic Festival decided to have outdoor film screenings. It was a unique concept in Mississauga. Outdoor screenings were one of those concepts which eventually the city of Mississauga picked up as well quite successfully.
There was a very lively cultural and trade relationship between India, even British India, and Czechoslovakia. In the 20s, our shoemaker Bata had his factories in British India. And then later we were importing exotic fruits, chai, rice, and of course Bollywood movies with Meena Kumari, with Madhubala, later with Kabir Bedi and Shah Rukh Khan. So South Asian culture was cross-pollinating Europe for many, many years.
We started MUSHTAQ because we felt that a lot more engagement needs to take place for South Asian cinema. There's so many more films being made because of the advent of digital technology, and so we felt that these films need an audience in Mississauga. So we created the Mosaic International South Asian Film Festival, MUSHTAQ.
So when we were planning for the first year Mosaic Festival in 2005, when we started preparation for that, my daughters came to me and said, you know what, while you are preparing for this festival, why don't you give us some space as well for our age group, which is a preteen to teen to, younger age group, and people who are not South Asians alone, but there's a diversity of ethnicities and culture within their age group, who would probably not be directly interested in attending Mosaic Festival, but something like garage band, something like in which they can do the experimental music, in which they can do the Western tunes and bands and everything. And I said, you know what, it's not a bad idea.
Rock the Coliseum brought cool to Mississauga when it wasn't always top of mind. And so congratulations to Rock the Coliseum for 20 great years of providing a stage and an audience for youthful, emerging musicians, singers, songwriters, bands. It's a home for emerging talent in Mississauga, and we're proud to be associated with it.
First time I attended Rock the Coliseum was probably 2015. 2015, I lived in one of the condos right across Celebration Square. I think I just happened upon it. I was just walking around. I was like, this is very exciting. And of course, I found whoever was running the show, and I asked them about it, and they're like, yep, look up the website. And so I did, and then I think in 2016 and 2017, I came out and we were handing out freezies and free CDs as a part of Mississauga Music Outreach. I think one of the years we even handed out ponchos because it started raining for a bit. So that was the first few years, and then 2018 is when I started putting on Rock the Coliseum. Rock the Coliseum is important for Mississauga because there's nothing else like it. It gives you a platform to play and get paid, and you build your audiences. That sort of a platform is very important to every artist, every band.
Rock the Coliseum, I have to say thank you for all the organizers, thank you for all the talent that we had the privilege to host over 20 years. It was really Rock the Coliseum that ironically brought me to Mosaic Festival. My son 15 years ago was volunteering, and naturally as a high school student he was geared more towards the independent garage bands with his classmates, and me as a good mom and good supervisor came to check what are they involved with, and through watching new emerging bands at the Rock the Coliseum stage, I was able to peek at the phenomenal act on the main stage, wonderful classic music performance, and ever since I just never looked back, and I knew this is my calling and this is my giving back to my fellow Mississaugans, and I want to be involved with this project.
The festival is only for 2 days. We work with our volunteers only for 2 days, and we try to give them the best of experiences. We've had volunteers who came with us when they were in high school, and then they grew with us. They're still with us, some of them.
A lot of positions in between. Started off as a volunteer when I was in grade 9 just to get my volunteer hours. Went from there to becoming a supervisor, to becoming the backstage supervisor, to becoming the logistical coordinator, and now the festival coordinator. So about 3 or 4 steps up the ladder.
I joined the Mosaic family as a volunteer about 7-8 years ago. I was 17 years old myself, and I didn't know what the journey was going to look like and it would lead me here, but over time I joined the coordinating team and I've played various roles and I had different positions on the team, gotten to learn the ins and outs, I would say, from everyone that's on the team, the coordinating team as well as the board of directors. So it's been a lovely 7-8 years of growing and learning under the mentorship of everyone around me.
I have been part of Mosaic since 2007. I joined in as a volunteer, a high school student. I was 16, and I just kept coming back again and again because I just enjoyed the space, the community, just the festival by itself. And I think as I kept coming back, I guess I started taking more responsibilities as a volunteer. One thing led to the other, and I'm now a volunteer coordinator.
It's not actually possible to continue doing a festival in Canada of the immensity and the size of Mosaic Festival unless you have support from different levels of provincial, municipal and federal funders and granting organizations. And Mosaic's success story, it demonstrates that the systems in Canada work, and they work towards the benefit of the population.
Success of any event or any organization is when the young people or a next generation is ready to take over. And we are very fortunate that way that we have some amazing young people who are working, who are getting training with us, and who are now slowly and gradually taking over the running of the festival.
The phrase that comes to mind is dynamic problem solving. Day of the festival, there's going to be things that could go wrong. Really finding the best solution to those problems is what has best translated into my professional career. When you're leading projects, when you're leading situations, you're going to have conflicts within the team, you're going to have conflicts within the scheduling, etc. How to manage those in an optimal way and in the best organized way is something that Mosaic has taught me very well, and I still use to this day.
Being part of the Mosaic family has really shown me that there's power in community. And it gave me a lot of courage and confidence to even start my own venture, Chinikam, because it gave me a platform to say, yes, I can do something for my community and connect with people. And so it gave me a lot of those foundational skills that I was able to transfer. So I definitely feel that I got that through my experience at Mosaic.
If I have been able to produce people, I have been able to mentor and train people who will continue with Mosaic legacy for the years to come, then I think our job is done.